Okay, Jabin, whenever you're ready.
All right, so I'll just start off with my theme for this whole project, and that's don't judge a book by its cover, and we'll touch on that throughout this whole thing. And so you all know me, but I had it set up to be, not that there's strangers here. So my name is Jabin, and this is my story. I'm the youngest of 4 sons, and I'm 18 years old. My brothers Caleb and Josh are 31 years old, and my brother Ruben is 36. And although I'm just a young person, there's been a lot of things that have happened in my life to shape who I've become today. And so that's going to get into where I started and who am I. And so I'm the tail ender of all the siblings. You can tell by the age gap that I was a surprise. I grew up on the family ranch, and I think that's one of the best aspects of my life because growing up on the ranch has influenced my life in a lot of ways, and it's just given me a really grounded and firm spot on this earth just to kind of know where stuff comes from. And it's also been really good with my faith because there's a lot of times where you can only pray for good things to happen. And so we're really religious in that way because we just have to have a good relationship with God to kind of just trust in Him to get us through hard times. And I just wanted to say that the 3 most important things to me are my faith, my family, and my friends. And I think it's always the textbook answer to say that your faith is the most important, but I do take my faith really seriously, and as I've gotten older, I've gotten more serious in that way, and it's led me to make some strides that have just led to me being closer with God. My family has always been important to me. I've always been really close to all my family on my mom's side and my dad's side. I love every single one of them. And my friends are also a huge role in my life because ever since I can remember, I've been surrounded by a wonderful group of guys, and I still love my friend group to this day. A good example of my family that I love is my cousins, which you're all here, and I've been really close with my cousins for basically ever since I was born. Me and Parker grew up together playing on the farm and getting into trouble and doing stupid stuff all the time. I really love just the position I've been put in at Manhattan Christian, just the people I've been able to meet, my friend group. It's a lot of good kids, and I love every single one of them. And it's been really great to see how everyone's grown into becoming adults, and we're all graduating, and it's just crazy to think that just the other day we were playing Vietnam on the playground, but now we're all just grown up. And so I guess I should show my pictures. These are just some pictures of the family. You all should know who they are, but that's Ruben and Val, and it's me and Caleb, and my aunts, and my uncle. That's Aunt Nicole and Uncle Kelly and their children. And that's the cousins at Old Faithful. My dad Brent, he's awesome. And then, yeah, these are my brothers and their families. That's Josh, Oliver, and Everett, and Lacey, and then that's Caleb, Brooke, and then Cruz is right there. Can't really see him, but that's Kanan, and then Cade, and then that's Ruben and Val, and it's a little bit cut off, but their newest little girl Zoe is our newest addition to our family. And here's a bunch of pictures of me and all my friends. I really just love my friends, and they've been a big part of my life, and ever since I can remember, I've just always relied on my friends a lot. And so I'm going to get into how did I get here. And so many things have happened in my life to get me to this point, and lots of memories have been made. I will always cherish the memories that I've made in high school, and I will always cherish the friends that I've made. Basically, most of the friends that are in my friend group now are kids that have gone here since we were in kindergarten. We've all been inseparable since, but there's also a couple of buddies that came here later in my school career. And my first example is Trevor. He came in sophomore year, and we had known each other a little bit since middle school. My first memory of Trevor was, because we played each other in basketball a lot, but one time I was at a football game, and Trevor went into a trash can and got a bunch of old sour cream on his pants. And that's just kind of how I knew him. Then he came to high school, and now we're really best friends. And then another one of my buddies that wasn't originally from here is Darren. And Darren came halfway through sophomore year, and we knew each other originally, and we just kind of were weird when he first came to school. But then something just clicked, and he thought that my subs in my car were cool, and we just became friends. And now we've been super good friends since then, and it's just crazy to wonder where the time went, because now we're always at each other's side. And I just wanted to point out that even though some of my best friends are from Christian, a lot of my other really good friends are from outside of here, and I think that's one of the really cool aspects about my life, because having friends from outside of the school gives you a good opportunity to kind of teach people about God, or just kind of make little pokes about faith, and just to kind of urge them to get outside their comfort zone. And I think it's good to hang out with those kinds of people who don't really have any idea of what's like faith about or what's God about, because that's kind of what Jesus did, is he hung out with the tax collectors and all them, and I kind of try to model my life after that, because I don't judge a book by its cover. I judge people by their character, and so I like to get to know someone before I judge them, and that's led to a lot of really good friendships that I have. And it always kind of seemed like growing up in the school that they didn't want us to mingle with the public school kids, but I never listened to that, and I have some amazing friends from Manhattan and other places, and I think the fact that I can make friends easily is just a really cool thing about myself, and it's just a really good opportunity to spread the gospel. And so another way of how did I get here, there's been a few hardships in our life, and I haven't been through many hardships, but the few that I have been really big. And to start, it was in May 2018, my Uncle Dwayne passed away unexpectedly, which really shook our entire family, and it really shook my mom too. And later that year, my mom started having a really hard time with everyday tasks, so we took her to the doctor and the neurologist to figure out what was wrong. And COVID began to happen, which was just crazy, and then we figured out that my mom had a rare brain disorder called cortical basal ganglionic degeneration. And amongst everything else going on in my life, I've always struggled with a lot of anxiety and depression, and my mom's diagnosis made it really hard for me to be motivated to do anything. It was kind of a low spot, because it's in quarantine when everything was weird, and it just was a really weird position. And I don't really like to talk about, my anxiety or depression or the hardships in my life, because I've always been the person that's pretty strong in the friend group, and you can talk to me about anything, and, it's just hard for me to be the person to be like, yeah, I'm struggling with stuff. But even though I've been through these hard times, I've always had people in my life to help me out of it, like my brothers or my friends. And even through this stuff with my mom, the community has just wrapped their arms around us and given us everlasting support. And also, since I've experienced a lot of crappy experiences, it also is just like, don't judge a book by its cover, because I know that I've been through a lot, and so you never know when you run into someone what they've been through. So before you make any judging, I don't know, if you make any assumptions about them, just you have to put yourself in their shoes, and you just could say, if this person's probably been through a lot too, because that's me, is I've been through a lot, and people looking at me probably can't tell all the time. And so that's another aspect about my life that I really like, is because I don't like to judge people right away, and I just like to find out who they are and talk to them. And so in my life right now, I'm in a fantastic spot, and I feel really comfortable in my own skin, which is high school and stuff. It's hard to figure out who you are and stuff, but finally getting around that corner and figuring out what's going on. And mom is in a good spot right now. We're taking her to her appointments, and she's going to PT and speech therapy and stuff. And there's days where she's just tired, but we're making strides. And my project has been a good use of time, because it's something easy to talk about with the family, and we're all excited to see the final outcome of the truck, and to see what I want to do in the future with the project is, once I'm welding on the truck or doing mechanics, it'll kind of help me figure out where I want to go. And so that's leading to where am I going. And so after high school, I really want to get my welding certification, and I wanted to go to Gallatin College, but their welding program is very popular, so I couldn't get in. And so I'm probably going to wait a year and try and get in next year. And even if that doesn't pan out, I would actually just like to find a career path either way, either go to college or just find a job to work at. And I really want to stick around on the family ranch, because it's something that I've held near and dear to my heart since I was little. And then also, where am I going? I plan to live in Belgrade with my best friend Darren, and living close to home is something I've wanted, especially with my mom's illness. I want to be close by, just down the road. And my whole family is going to be moving home this summer, which is going to be awesome because we'll all be close and it'll be good to just have that back, because ever since I was little, I've always wanted everyone to be here. And so it's going to be awesome to have everyone together. And so for my senior project, I wanted to make my truck, which is a 72 GMC, I wanted to make it into something great, and I wanted to just make my family proud and make the truck run good. And I just don't care about looks, because don't judge a book by its cover. If it looks crappy on the outside, it still could be running good. And I hope that through working on the truck that it will help, with my welding and mechanics. It will just help me figure out if I want to go into those fields or not. And all around though, it's been a good use of time, and it's been really fun to work with my dad and my brother Caleb on it, because it's just been quality time together. And so we've done a lot of stuff to the truck already. It's still progressing to get finished, but we first started, basically this is pictures of where it was sitting, and I had never seen the truck run in all my life. And me and Caleb one day just got a fire lit under our butts, and we decided to take it apart, and sure enough, we got it running, and it started going. I mean, we had to cut the fuel lines and stuff so we could put some good gas in there, and sure enough, we got it. Took a lot of starting fluid, and it started on fire a couple times, but we got it going. And then we rolled it over next to the shop, and we were cleaning out the engine, and we hot cleaned it and cleaned it out really good. And so then we figured out that engine in there is probably still pretty good, so we don't have to do a complete engine swap. And so we're just gonna keep rolling with this. We're trying to get the transmission out right now. We got the carburetor rebuilt, which Mike Dyksterhouse did that for us, and really thankful for that. And there's a lot more that we need to do, but we have a plan. We're gonna stick to it, and I'm gonna finish probably this summer. And just working with my dad, he just knows so much, and so does Caleb. I've seen a bunch of crazy tricks that they do that just I don't think make sense, but then it just works. And so it's just been a learning curve to see those cool little tricks that they do, because I've always wanted to know how to do that stuff. And so, in conclusion, it's been a long time that I've spent at school, and I will never forget the memories that I've made and the good times I've had here. I'm really excited to see where I'm going. Hopefully through the truck it'll point me in the right direction, kind of see where I want to go, what I want to do. I'm excited to kind of go out on my own, be an adult, and figure out what's going on there. And I can't stress enough just how I'm really excited for this summer for my family to be home and just to have everyone back, because I've been longing for that. I'm very excited to see where God leads me, and it's crazy to think that we're at the end of the year already, but it's time to move on. And I'll miss everyone at Christian, and all the teachers have been amazing always, and so I'll miss them, but I'm really excited to see where I'll go. So thank you.